Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today because today we are going to go zero waste shopping at a normal Danish grocery store. When we hear the term zero waste shopping, we usually think of something like this. However, that's what zero waste shopping rarely looks like. It's the fewest people that actually have access to bulk stores and farmers markets. I myself live in Aalborg, which means that I do have a farmers market that I go to every once in a while, but I also tend to go to normal grocery stores for a lot of my basic stuff every day. Things, I don't have a bulk store nearby, however I do have the option to go to either Aarhus or Copenhagen once in a while where I do stock up on bulk stuff. But I know tons of people have neither, and this video is specifically for you. I've also seen a lot of other sustainable influencers do this sort of video, like Sustainably Vegan or Shill Bissell, and they've been doing it in the US and in the UK, and I think those videos are amazing, and I thought I wanted to contribute with a Danish counterpart. So let's go to Superbrugsen. Let's go to Superbrugsen. It seems weird when you're saying like Danish names, but in English it's called Superbrugsen, which just means grand old store. Woo, let's go! So buying plastic-free or zero waste at a grocery store can usually be quite difficult because the selection tends to differ quite a lot depending on what city, what country, but even what neighborhood you're in really. What I want to do when I go into a store is that I like to hit up the greens and veggies section first, because that's usually where you will find most bulk or loose things. And depending on what season you're in as well, this selection is also going to change quite a lot. So here I have, for instance, found my precious old strawberries. It's definitely strawberry season in Denmark right now, so there are tons of them. I found some radishes and some corn on the cob, which is amazing. There will usually be plastic bags lying around for you to use, but simply just ignore those. I also want to go for the ugliest veggies that I can find, simply because those will usually not be chosen by other customers and then they will be thrown away. So I like to actually buy those instead rather than picking the ones that are pretty. Most bigger supermarkets have a bulk bake-off section with tons of breads and buns and different kinds of baked goods, and they are usually unpackaged because they assume that you will use that plastic bag. So instead I simply bring my own bag and I put them in a grand old canvas bag instead. So here they have tons of small buns for breakfast purposes, but they also have pita bread, which is kind of nice, so I thought I wanted to use that for a lunch related situation. Next I'm going to the canned aisle because stuff that would usually be found in bulk will then come in canned. For instance, beans, which I eat a lot of, I can't find in bulk in my local area, so buying them in an aluminum tin is the next best thing. Sometimes you can find pasta and rice without any packaging as well. I've usually found a few brands of rice without any plastic on the outside, but then they have plastic on the inside, but this brand specifically does not have any plastic inside, and you can sometimes hear it if you shake the container a little bit. So buying something in cardboard which is fully recyclable is also a great option. If I cannot find any non-plastic pasta, I usually go for lasagna sheets actually, because they usually come in cardboard in my local area, so that's really nice. I also was able to find a pesto in glass that was vegan, because that can usually be kind of difficult because there's a lot of milk or cheese or even anchovies in a lot of pestos, but this one brand was vegan and in a glass bottle, which will also be recycled. Spices can be super difficult. I've had so much trouble with spices because almost all kinds of spice come in a plastic container, or at least with a plastic lid or like a big grand sticker on it or something like that. But there's this one brand that is very minimal with the plastic packaging, so I chose to go for like a paprika chili spice mix, see if I can use that for anything. And the glass can of course be recycled, so that's kind of neat. They also have, right next to me I can see, olive oil in a glass bottle and other kinds of oils in glass bottle, which is good, but I didn't buy any of those because I actually have those at home, so I thought it would be unnecessary to buy them again. I mean, your girl is not made of money, so cool. So here we have jasmine rice and some like meat veggie nuggets in cardboard boxes, no plastic inside, so this is fully recyclable, which is amazing. This cardboard container is also made of paper, which is also recyclable. So good. Then we have lots of loose veggies and greens. We have just a single elastic band here, which will be repurposed. Then we have something in glass. We have a pesto. There we go. We have a pesto and some spice mix, which I haven't tried yet, but I reckon is good with beans. Then we have the kidney beans in an aluminum can. We have loose bread from their bread bulk bake-off section. That was a lot of words. And some more loose veggies. So the only actual trash that we made from this was, let's see here, the sticker from the onions and the elastic band, which will of course be repurposed, but once it breaks there's really no way of repurposing it further, thus it will become trash. But glass is fully recyclable, metal is fully recyclable, and paper is fully recyclable, so no plastic. Ta-da! I am just here now eating some strawberries as a snack. This is something that I usually do instead of having like sweets or pastries or crisps or something. I like to snack on some melon or berries or whatever I can get my hands on, but strawberries especially because I just finished my period, so I am lacking iron. So I tend to go for the big leafy greens, or the dark leafy greens, Christ, like kale and spinach, and then I'll have strawberries, and that helps my hormonal imbalance as well, which is amazing. But specifically with iron. But that was not like at all what I wanted to talk about. I wanted just to talk about the price of my items and the options that I have with them, the convenience of it, and just have a full circle moment in this video. Because shopping in a normal grocery store with the specific purpose of avoiding plastic can be quite expensive. I am not going to lie. Because what happens with the plastic-free items in a normal grocery store is that those products are usually the more fancy, like it's usually products where you can tell that the company has maybe not had a sustainability agenda in mind, but they have had like an overall aesthetic they wanted to pursue, and that has just run up the price a little bit. And that means that something like spices, for instance, are crazy expensive, where I would not necessarily always pay over £2 for a single spice. But if I'm in a position, in a situation where I sort of need this specific thing, I will sometimes do it, but it's not something that I always do. Usually what I do with spices actually is that I use the stuff that I have, and if I'm lacking something, I'm going to get it the next time I am at the bulk store, either in Aarhus or in Copenhagen. And if I am not at that store, if I'm not nearby, then I will just wait. So there's the convenience aspect, where I usually actually will just do without, which is also something we are not specifically accustomed to. So that will maybe seem a little bit strange to some people, that that's just what I do, but I can manage just fine without cumin for quite a while. So generally I got some stuff today that was pricey in one way or another. I reckon that pesto is always kind of pricey, I think, but it's a really good staple to have, and you won't use all of it in one go, which is also something that's important to remember, that although the price of the rice were, higher than the cheapest brand of rice, or the pesto, or the spices, it's something that I will be able to use multiple times, and it's not something that will run out in one day, because I'm only me. Sometimes we're two here, but usually it's just me. So that's also kind of important to remember. Meat substitutes of most kinds are kind of expensive, and I've actually found that light meat products are one of the least expensive ones, and I kind of enjoy them. I do enjoy them, but I don't get them that often. It's not something that I build my meals around necessarily, but they're really, really nice treat, and I do enjoy them. So the overall price of everything that I got today, including, I think the most expensive thing that I got was the strawberries actually, but I love it. But the overall total was 21 quid, 21.2 or something.
21.2, let's say that, because I forgot the receipt, like a doofus. So that's kind of expensive for like just a 1-day shopping trip for me. When I go to my farmer's market, I pay a lot less, let me tell you now. But a lot of the stuff that I got, I will be able to use over several days. If you are interested in what kind of food I will be making with this, I just made the pita, which you have seen as beef footage at this point, I think. I'm going to put up the pita recipe, how I did it, what I did, and everything on my blog, gitamary.com, and the link will be down below if you're interested. And I will also generally post recipes that I am referring to and talking about. They will all be on there. So I do hope that you will go and check that out if you are more interested. But the point of this video, oh my god, that was a long way there. Jesus Christ. The point of this video is generally that everyone can be mindful of what and how they purchase items at the grocery store. And if your budget and your resources allows you to, then perhaps consider choosing the product that's plastic free over the product that's packaged in plastic. It's all about these tiny small steps, but we vote with our money every time we buy something. And it's a really good idea to ask yourself every time you choose to purchase something, is it worth it? I hope that you liked this video. If you did, leave it a thumbs up, and you can also make a comment. Obviously, I'm thinking of doing this again, but at like a super discount shop, because the shop I went to today was kind of high end, I suppose. So I'm thinking about doing this in like a really cheap discount shop and see how it goes there. Let me know if that's something you want. Until next time, take really good care of yourselves. Mwah! Gonna go eat my strawberries now.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green zero waste content, and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!